if you start with bad breeds, no matter the feed you give, no matter the house you put, no matter the medicine you give, the results will be bad. So what happens is that when you are choosing your breeding stock, you have to be very, with that one, if you have no knowledge of it, you have to go with somebody that has knowledge of how to choose breeding stock.
Okay.
Yes, because you have to look at certain things. Go to a farm where they have good records. If you go there, you say, I want this boy, how old is he? It's like, oh, he's 1 year. Like, oh, he's 1 year and is this size, then that's a good boy.
Okay.
If you go somewhere to his 1 year and is that size, someone they can even lie to you sometimes, but then there's some things you can look on the animal. But more often than not, if you want to be safe when you are picking a boar or even a sow for breeding stock, simply just look at how big, how robust the animal is. Yes.
Okay.
So when you are buying breeding stock, don't compromise on the quality. Don't try and save money. You don't save money there.
Go all out for that.
Go all out. If it's one boar you can afford, buy a very good boar. Very good boar.
It's going to determine the future of your farm.
It will determine. It can determine the future of your life. Actually, no, it's true, because depending on how you do it, can be life changing.
Yeah.
So don't compromise.
It's another beautiful day. Today we are visiting Growmank Farm. I'm here with Kojo.
Yes.
We'll be taking a tour of their facility. It's a piggery. They have catfish and other types of things growing here. But today we are visiting the piggery and taking a tour and then finding out more. Kojo, welcome to 88 Greenyard Farm. It's good having you and visiting you.
My pleasure.
I'm excited to see what you have going on here.
Sure. Well, small that we have going on, but we definitely will show and share. So
Sure. Yes. So first, let's check out the pig farm. Kojo, you really have a neat space, and I see a lot of pens.
Yeah.
How many pens do you have?
So the total number of pens or rooms that we have in this facility for the pigs are 20.
20.
So 10 on each side, 10 on either side, yes.
Okay, so what's the maximum capacity this?
So ideally, the pen should be able to hold 200 pigs of about 40 to 50 kilo size.
200?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a number, but it's not, we aim for more. We are aiming for more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
We are praying you get to that point.
Amen.
So tell me, how did this farm start? Why pig farm? How long have you had it?
Okay, so construction began, or the idea to start the pig farm maybe was about a year before we started construction in 2021. So that's around COVID time, 2020.
Okay.
I took a visit to, I've always had an interest in agriculture and farming. I took a visit in, I think, 2020 around the COVID time. I took a visit to a pig farm.
Okay.
Well, they are my neighbor. They are just right behind me.
Okay.
Around that time, here on this farm, we had just coconuts, and then we had mainly coconuts. That's what we had planted. So on one trip that we took here, I visited my neighbor's farm, a pig farm, and I mean, it piqued my attention. And upon further research, I realized it was a good investment opportunity, especially for a young man coming up. And I mean, it's somewhere that a lot of like minds might not look at. But then when you sit down, you do your own research, you realize that if done properly, done well, you can return nicely on the venture.
Okay.
So construction of the pen started in about 2021. It took about basically the whole year. So we got started with our first set of animals, the breeding stock. The animals that we started, the pigs that we started, that was we started with about, I think, 5 females, 5 sows.
Okay.
And then 1 boar.
Okay.
That's one.
So 6 in total.
6 in total.
That's way back in 2021.
So these ones came in 2022.
Okay.
Around March, April 2022.
Okay.
So that's when we started here.
Okay.
I mean, we started, and yes. So around 2022 is when officially we got underway, more or less.
Okay. Yeah. So 2022. Fast forward to 2025. I can see you have quite a lot, from 6. What's your current number now?
Right now, we sell every day. Every day? Right, as of now, you know, I mean, right, you witnessed that.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, so I think we sell almost every day. So I'd have to check, right? Today 2 have left. Yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, 15 were born.
Yes, I saw that earlier.
Yes. So I honestly do not have I have to do the mathematics. But it should be anywhere from, right now, we sell anywhere from 70 pigs should be here.
Even selling every day, 70 pigs.
Yes.
Then business is booming.
I mean, yes, I suppose.
Okay, so take me around. I can see in the first room, you have 2 pigs there. Tell me, what breed do you have in here?
Okay,
there's a black one and there's a multicolored one.
Yeah, so this one, the multicolored one, is the brown and the black spotted.
Yeah.
It's a cross of it's a breed called Pie Train.
Pie Train.
Yes, they are not a new, I won't say new breed, but then they are quite popular on the markets now in Ghana for a lot of pig farmers and investors because of efficiency, how efficiently they convert feed and all of that.
Okay.
So that is the black and then the brown.
Okay.
And then the black one, the all black one, is a Berkshire.
Berkshire.
Yes. Okay. But I think it's a Berkshire with a small Duroc in it. Yes, small Duroc in it. Also a very efficient. These guys are not, I think this is no older than 6 months.
Wow, and it's looking very healthy.
Yes, I think it's about almost 70 kilos. Wow. This one is less in age, about maybe, I think it's in its 3rd or 4th month. And so, I mean,
both males or?
Yeah, both males. So the idea of purchasing them was so that they will come and cross.
Okay.
They replace our former breeding stock.
Okay.
Yes, basically. So that we can also have some variety in the
So they are new on the farm?
Yes, more or less. They are aside the newborn ones, they are
the latest.
They were not born here. They were brought in. Yes.
Okay. Let me check out the other ones.
Yes.
These piglets are very beautiful. How old are they?
So these are 1 month, that's 4 weeks old.
4 weeks,
yes.
And they are this big?
Yes.
Wow, where's their mom? I can't see the mother.
So we wean them from the mother. That is, weaning is when you remove the piglets from the mother. The mother's basic care. So when the mother gives birth to them, she has to give milk, produce milk, and then they feed off the colostrum that comes from the milk.
Okay.
That gives them a basic building block. So after 4 or 6 weeks, you can take the mother, from the piglets or the piglets away from the mother.
Okay, yes. So within that 4 weeks, do they feed solely on the milk?
So yeah, within that 4 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, they feed. Well, I mean, first 2 weeks or first 3 weeks, they feed solely on the milk. But then slightly they transition to solid feed. So we have what we call creep feed. Creep feed. Yes, that's why you can put some in their pen.
Okay.
You know, if you see, we have 2 different feeding. So there's another one over here. There's one here.
Yes.
So we put, usually when the mother is feeding in the big one, we put a creep feed in the small one.
Okay.
For the children. So that's where they start getting adjusted to solid food. So immediately you take them from the mother, they already know what it is to eat solid food.
Then it's easier to be on their own.
Yes.
But do you have any challenges with separating them from their mom?
The mother, okay. Well, the mother becomes a bit aggressive when she gives birth like that. And I mean, it's
the mother instinct.
So, but then
not, to protect
it's a challenge because I mean, it's fairly
part of the process.
Yes, but yes, they have some resistance if you are coming close to their children.
Okay, all right. So I see, it looks like different breeds.
Yes.
Which breeds are these?
So these guys, they are all basically a mix of landrace and then large whites.
Landrace, large whites.
Yes.
So you have a lot of the large whites and landrace here.
Those are our breeding stock. Okay. Landrace and large whites.
Okay, they are the main breeding stock.
So these are just the offspring that I think these are like right now this will be like a 3rd generation of it, yes.
Okay, since you started in 2022.
Yes.
Okay, so one question. Do you sell the piglets?
Now we don't sell the piglets. We breed we fatten for meat. For meat now.
Okay.
But then with the piglets selling and then also even the breeding stock selling, that's something we will look to go into. We do that on a smaller scale, not as much as we fatten for meat to sell. All right. We do that on a smaller scale, but then as time goes on, we will look to do our adequate necessary research because when you are selling piglets or you are selling breeding stock, you have to make sure that what you are selling is good quality. Yes. Farmers usually someone will buy a piglet or a breeding stock, they are looking at breeding them also for profit profit.
Yes.
So you have to make sure whatever you are selling, I mean, you can't control it 100%, but you have to make sure whatever you are selling as much as possible. If you give it to a farmer and then, or whoever, and then they follow the right feeding and the care principles, they are able to achieve maximum profitability. Okay. So on your part, that means you also have to make sure that you are doing things right here. It needs a separate, you need a separate set of skills. You understand? For you to make sure that it's similar to what we do here, but then you need a separate set of skills to make sure that you are. So let's say
long-term goals, it's part, but currently it's mainly for meat. Pork, no.
All right. Yes. But long-term, and even now, but not as much now. Let's say it brings about 10% business in. The rest is just on the sale of the manure and then their meat as well.
All right. I see 3 pigs in this pen. How many males and females do we have in your I see there's 1 female there.
There's two females and then 1 male.
Why do you? Is it normal to put them together in one?
So they are together because we want them to cross. Oh. Yes. So ideally, it's supposed to be 1 female and 1 male just for them themselves. But what we are, I think we have almost all the rooms are full. Oh. We have 2 spare rooms, but we have yet to fix the gates.
Then it's calling for expansion.
Yes, you see, that's the thing.
You just mentioned you received 15 new piglets yesterday.
Exactly. Okay. So either expansion or what we will do is we'll half some of the rooms. Okay. Because honestly, if you go to places like China, let's use them as an example. Okay. And you realize how they use their space when they are doing the pig farming. They don't really. Someone can have about half of this space.
But they have more pigs.
Yes, because the way they are so. I mean, someone will say look at some of the setups and say, hey, animal cruelty, but not necessarily animal, because it's not like they are beating the animals. That the space is quite minimal. Yeah. But they are utilizing the space because I mean, at the end of the day, too, you have to be efficient with what you have. Okay. So not as much as maybe we'll expand and build new set, but
you utilize what we have space. Yes. So how old are they?
So I think the male is a year now.
A year?
A year.
And it's that big?
Yes, it's a year. Wow. The females, they are anywhere from 10 months as well. I think 10 months each.
So if it's a year, it means somewhere 2024, that's when.
Somewhere.
Were they born here?
They were born here. These all were born here. Yes. He had I think there were 2 and then I think we sold 1 to a farmer who wanted to breed the male. Yes, so.
Wow. So how long have they been in this room?
Setting. Yeah. So I think the females both came on heat. Okay. 2 days ago or yesterday or 2 days ago. Okay. So then we brought them in. Okay. So I'm sure by now the crossing they've crossed initially. Okay. So we'll wait another 2 days and we take them out.
But would it be the first time they are going to have get pregnant and have piglets?
Yes, I think this the 2 of them this is their first time. Oh. This will be their first one.
It's going to be quite an experience for them. Exactly. They are very neat. You are doing a great job with how you are keeping your pigs here. Let me see what we have in the. I'm guessing these are the newborns.
These are the new ones.
The latest in town. Yes. They are so beautiful. Yeah. Wow. How old is the mother?
The mother I think it's a year.
A year?
Yeah, the mother is a year.
So how many times has she given birth?
This is the first time.
This is the first?
It's the first time. So
you wait till like 1 year before they do that?
With the mothers, we can wait till maybe 7-8 months. But with this one, we had other mothers who were ahead of her. Oh. So like I said, we planned the production. So she's the last to give birth. So I think she gave birth to 15, and one is not too healthy, but 14 we are hoping are good.
They look so beautiful. Yeah. But why do you wait till like 7 to 8 months before you make them?
So it's a matter of if it was a human being would have said estrogen. Oh. Like, a matter of the hormones fully developing. You understand? You don't want to rush it. The same way with the boar, you don't want to rush whatever male hormones are. You want everything to develop fully into an adult pig before you encourage them to have sexual relations and then give forth birth.
It makes sense. Yes. Makes sense. So how long before from pregnancy to childbirth? How long does it take?
So typically, what will happen after the day? Successfully cross. It should take 3 weeks, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days.
3 months, 3 weeks,
3 days.
3 days.
So that's a rule of thumb. So where if I say rule of thumb, I mean that's generally what
should happen.
Should happen.
Yeah.
So
it's more like the 9 months thing.
Yes, 9 months.
Right.
Sometimes like the same way in the human being, you might have it come
before
a little bit earlier, a little after. You understand?
Yeah.
But generally, it gauges around that time frame.
Interesting. Wow, this is the biggest of the lot.
Yeah.
How old is this?
So this guy here, he should be about. He was a year old when we got him in 2022. So if you calculate, anyway, I think 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so...
That's huge. It's huge.
Huge.
Yes, huge.
Almost like a cow.
Yes, huge. I think we haven't weighed him recently, but if anything is to go by, this guy should be about almost 300 kilos.
Wow. Is it even easy to bring?
It's not.
Because I'm even scared.
It's not easy to bring him in and out. So usually we leave him in the pen like that. Anytime we need him, we bring a female to him to cross.
Is it able to cross? Looking at how big it is.
There's someone that, like this mother like this.
Yeah, it was crossed by.
Yes.
Oh.
So if the mother is also as big, the woman is big, the female can cross.
All right, so is it the oldest?
It's definitely the oldest in the breed. It's definitely the oldest.
So how old was it before it came to this farm?
It was a year old.
So it's about 5 years now?
Yeah, so it was a year old in 2022. So 2025, so about 4 years.
So it's 4 years old now.
I was approaching its fourth year. Oh, it's 4 years actually, yeah.
So how long do you plan to keep it?
So it will cross 2 more times. Then from that, by then we have another boar, the black one you saw.
Yeah.
And then there's another boar that was in the other pen.
Okay.
By then we'll have them also reaching certain weights like that. Then we can do with it, yes. It will be very hard, but that's my favorite boar.
Okay. All right. So looking at its size, how big it is now, does it pose a threat to the remaining pigs?
No, I mean, no. It doesn't. I mean, that's why we have a room for just him. But if he should go into a pen with a smaller pig or whatever, the results might not be good.
Okay.
Because when it's time to compete for food and for space, it will definitely beat anybody.
Yeah.
So that's why it needs its own room, for it to enjoy its own privacy. Yeah.
But on its own, it's fine.
No,
it doesn't.
It's a fair. It's actually very friendly. You can go. He enjoys when you wrap.
I'm afraid though.
Oh, he enjoys when you wrap the head. You can wrap the
really?
head. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a friendly pig. Yeah.
How old are these ones too?
It's at 3 months.
3 months.
Yes.
And these ones?
It's also 3 months. Around the same age.
These are really huge at 3 months, but these are like the opposites. What's accounting for the difference?
So, I mean, with every batch that comes, you see, you find that genetically, there's some that are superior, and then some that lag behind.
Yeah.
So as time goes on, we sort them out. The ones who are lacking, we put them in one pen to see if, because that means when they are competing for food, they might not be getting enough. So we sort them and put them in one pen to see if that's the issue. If as time goes on, they are eating and it's not improving, then we can identify and say, okay, this one, no matter what we do, this is what's the outcome. So then we quickly cash in on the animal. Okay,
so you don't even wait till like the 8th month for
No, we don't wait too much. Sometimes we can say let's wait and let's see.
Okay.
But then when you cross maybe 6 months and then you realize no, it's not being as profitable as it should be, you can do away with the animal.
Okay, so the stunted growth, it's a normal process you experience.
Oh, it happens. It happens every. I mean, I've said in human beings even, you have some that plateau when they get to a certain age, they don't grow again.
Yeah.
Something stops it. So it's normal.
Even with twins, you don't always have them coming out the same, so it makes sense. So in this case, what do? You sell them out, you complement them with your sales?
Yeah, so I mean, they also produce meat the same way. It's not like if stunted, so the meat is bad or anything.
Yeah.
It's also quality meat. Just that for me, the farmer or the investor,
the
for you,
the
size is not ideal as compared to what you are putting into the animal.
Yeah.
So immediately you end production on that animal and then you sell.
It makes sense.
You can sell to whatever, any customer or whatever.
It makes sense. Kojo, thank you so much for the tour. I've loved every bit of it. I like how neat your rooms are for your pigs. Your pigs are so huge and healthy. You are doing a good job. I can see you are feeding them well.
Yes.
Big ups, big ups. Thank you so much for taking us through this, and I'm sure that someone out there would also see this and want to patronize, call out, and then buy some of your pigs. Also, someone out there may be willing to learn some more, and I'm sure they can reach out to you, right? Okay.
And you should keep watching this channel as well.
Exactly. Very, very, very key. Keep watching 88 Growmank Farms. So we came to you from Growmank Farms Limited. They are into pig farm. They do other kind of farming, but today the focus was on their pig farm. And then we've had a beautiful tour. If you want to reach out to Kojo, his number is on the screen, please. He's ever ready to talk to you and then shed more light. And what is important, please patronize and then get more of the pork. Pork, no, they are very lean. I came to experience a slaughter this morning. Very lean, meat, no fat. Please do well to patronize him. Thank you so much. So for someone watching out there who wants to start a pig farm,
yes,
what are the first steps
you should take?
Yeah.
As someone who is interested in starting a pig farm, whether for commercial purposes or for, I'm assuming if your interest is peaked to this level of watching these videos for commercial purposes. Yeah. So the first step is to honestly do your research first and foremost. So in doing your research, what do I mean? I mean, understand what it is to go into pig farming. Understand what's the basic, in life you can have skill to a certain point where you can do other things that maybe other people cannot do. Like let's say if you're a footballer, you have maybe Messi or Ronaldo who can exhibit certain skills that other people cannot. But then that doesn't take away from the other footballers who can do the basic things like pass the ball, hold the ball, do the basics. So do your research. What are the basic things that ensure success in pig farming? There's basic things. The feeding, the type of breed to start with, number one. The type of feed to give, the type of housing you choose, where you situate your farm. Usually that one is not such a big factor, because sometimes, you acquiring land can be, that's a whole other thing. But then basically breeding, feeding, housing. These are the three important things. Medication. So these are the four more important things. So if you are about to start, and usually if you're a newbie, a new person, right now there's a wealth of there's a whole lot of information. You can just go to ChatGPT, Claude, DeepSeek, whatever, put the prompt in. Even YouTube, yes. Exactly. Sorry, 8 years. That's why I say if you're already watching this video, yes, you understand that you want a place to start. But that's why I'm about to give that information for free. Because this information I'll give, if not for 88, you would have paid to learn somewhere. You understand? So you can. There's a whole books to read, all sorts of places. But then usually it can be overwhelming when you are beginning. Yeah. So the best is to go in for how do we call a consultant, somebody who already is in the game or has knowledge about it and has tried and has failed, and they can tell you
like Growmank.
Like Growmank, yes.
But is going to a consultant not expensive?
Yeah, I think there's a verse in the Bible that says no matter what it will cost you, you have to acquire knowledge. You understand? Because trust me, if you might have the money you want to invest, you might have the money, you might have the passion or the will to invest in pig farming. But then if the knowledge is not there, you turn around in circles before. God willing, if God is good, you can figure it out later. That is in the best case scenario. In the worst case scenario, you will shut down before you figure it out. Okay. Do you understand what I'm saying? All right. So, but the way the nature of the business is, you want to hit the ground running. From making profits from the first few months that you are in business. It will set you up for long-term success. So as much as possible, for that to be possible, you need knowledge beforehand.
All right, Kojo. Yes. So like you're saying, it's money you are looking at getting returns on. Yes. So before you even take the first step, it's good to know where you are putting your money.
Exactly.
So hence the research.
Yes.
Right. So tell me about Growmank.
Yeah.
when you were starting out, what are the things you think you did right or did wrong that someone out there shouldn't even try? Just for up to the setup and starting the piggery process. What do you think?
So, number one, I'll touch on what we did wrong because those were the things that we quickly had to correct. I think number one, even still we haven't still corrected the pens. When we were building the pens, right, the structures. Now we realized that what we should have done was to, because you have breeding a place where the mother will have to go and give birth, and then you have other places where you put the piglet for them to eat to get fat, right, and then you have a place for the boar, that's the male, to stay alone. So we should have sectioned, and all of these pens, they all have their different sizes. Let's say the boar doesn't, where we are standing right now, a mother, you can see it here. She doesn't need all this space. She could make do a half or even a third. You understand? So when we were building, what we should have done was we should have kept this in mind and then tailored the structures to each stage of the life cycle. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or each department. So
right from birth till you sell.
So where we are standing, we could have sectioned it into 3. Then you could have had 3 mothers and then their set of piglets here, and there'll be enough space for them. Then you can have a very big one, like maybe these 3 combined, for just when you remove them from the mother, so that they have a big space they can be in and eating. And
so when they are weaned off, they can enjoy, have a good time before they are separated finally.
Then the boar, the big boar, he might just need a space like maybe half of this. Or even he can also make do with it, but because of their size, it's usually half of this. So that was the first mistake. So when you are getting into it, depending on the housing that you choose, if it's not even concrete cement block housing and it's a wooden structure, you have to tailor the spaces so that you can maximize the space as much as possible. So
maximization of your space is
very
key.
important.
It means that your piggery or your pig farm doesn't need to be like very large.
No.
You can use small space wisely.
When it is time for you to expand, like on the ground, like expand some more, you will know. You understand? Your financials will show that, this is how much is coming in. You also see that this is how productive my pigs are. I've been able to have good workers, so and so and so. Now let me take the risk of building some more space. You know when it's time.
And when you even start small, you have the opportunity to learn and unlearn. Like you did.
You can make good mistakes. I say good mistakes because some are costly, but then you just make good mistakes. Then I think secondly also with their feeding. So from the offset, I think when we entered into the business, I think 2022, we were now coming off the dollar, dollar spiking, going up. And at the time, a lot of the soya bean that we were using, we use in Ghana production, was coming from Brazil. So
very expensive.
And it was priced in US dollar. So when you have the dollar go up, soya bean went from, let's say, 150 cedis all the way up to like 400 in just a short span, and the prices kept changing. Like, you remember when we had that era where the prices
was just
back to back, exactly. So what we did was we pivoted and then we tried to use alternate feed. But what I realized after maybe a few months of doing the alternate feed was that we were not getting something right with the feed, because we were having a lot of stunted growth and all of that. We're not getting sizes accurately on time. So quickly you have to, because that's the most important. The feeding is the most important. Let's say you just build a small mud house and you put pigs inside. What will determine the success is how well you feed them. So if you get feeding wrong, you don't have a business. You don't have a pig farm. You don't have whatever. You just have a passion project. You don't have a business.
So it means that apart from your space or the housing, feed is at the center of it.
Oh, it's at the feed ties everything together. Even good food, if you give your animals good food, you might not even, sometimes you might not have to give medication because they are eating well. The feed is curing whatever it is. Food is medicine. The food is curing whatever it is that has to. Good food is medicine.
And from what you're saying, from what you're also saying, it means that you shouldn't rely on only one source of food.
Okay, so if I think what you're trying to see, you are right.
The soya.
The soya. So what it is, you can have alternatives, right? But then understand what it is that the pig nutritionally needs.
Okay.
And then so it will give
find that alternative. So it shouldn't be just any other alternative
exactly.
because it's available. But at the end of the day, the weights and other things you're looking for, you should still reach that.
Yes.
Just that, assuming you have a shortage of, say, the soya, your alternative should also be there that you can follow.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Very key.
The perfect.
Very key. Yes. So mistake. We've seen the first and second mistake. Was there any other?
So I think another mistake that we made. I think those were the two. I think and also we were not planning. But that one I wouldn't say was a mistake. I think it was I just wanted to understand the business better before. Like that is planning the cycles of the birth. Now, as you can see, we have so many piglets. We synchronize them for them to all give birth at one time.
Yeah.
So that we can take care of that batch. Yeah, exactly. But first, what was happening was that this one will go and cross. We don't even know that he has gone to cross before he realized she's pregnant. And so we've not planned for. But now we've been able to take our time. We've been able to synchronize their births. So these ones that we see here, I think mothers all around with piglets.
It's true.
They all gave birth within a space of a month.
Because I'm told even just yesterday you gave birth, a new set of 15 of them.
So all these ones gave birth within a space of a month. So after that, that's one production cycle. That's the first for the year.
Okay.
So after that, we'll go another production cycle. So we do it like that way so that you can easily track how much you are putting into the business in feed, medication, even labor, and then even maintenance of the pen.
Yes. So with what you've just explained, talking about going into pig farming, what I'm observing or taking is that you go in small if you have because it's new, right? You go in small and be ready to learn and unlearn.
Yes.
Because you are in this 3 years. Earlier you were telling me that this is your best year so far since you started. It's taking you 3 years to, get hold of some of the things. So you need to go in with the mindset that yes, I am starting out, but I may not get immediate success in my first year. But then I would learn the ropes. So we've talked about what you did wrong. And then I'm sure now you are a master of.
Not yet, but we are on the way.
Okay, you are still on the way. What are the things you think you did right that has brought you this far, like you're making gradual success? Okay,
so I think some of the things that we did right was number one, I'll start from like I said, they're just the willingness to learn. As the owner of the business, right? Even if you are not the main farm hand that is always here, but the decisions that you make will impact the productivity and profitability of the farm.
Okay.
So as for that one, I'll give it to myself. Always the books I've read because of the books I've read because of pig farming, catfish farming in general, and it's not as if I'm even I did study some agric in school, but then I wish I had even studied it earlier.
Proper.
I understand, but the willingness to learn, research, that is one thing that I did right, and also marketing.
Okay.
Ability to form relationships with buyers even before the product is ready. The ability to, engage an audience so that they form interest in what you are doing. Sometimes I have a TikTok that I share some tips. TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah, I've seen those tips.
Yes, that I share some tips here and there. Mainly that was just to also share with other farmers, and that was the main reason. That's the main reason I'm on it. So and then also joining communities on WhatsApp and Telegram. There's a lot of pig farmer groups. There's a lot of animal farmer groups.
Okay.
You join like minds, and then you learn from each other. You do business with each other. So that was one thing. So if you are looking to go into this business, even before you start, join some of these. There's groups. You can can. I think I'll leave my number at the end. So if you want to, you can message me. There's groups. There's Pig Farmer Association of Ghana. There's poultry farmers, cattle, for all of that. So whatever you want to join, there's definitely a community for that here.
Okay.
So that's one thing that I think we did right as well. Then I think also another thing was just, having patience with the farm hands as well. It's also important because you have to realize, well, the basics are there. That's come and clean the farm, feed them. Those are the basics, right? That you are paying the person for. But then also you also have to have patience for them in respect to those, the cleaning and the feeding. Those are non-negotiables. But then the other tax that will come on. Maybe your farmhand has never seen a pig give birth before, deliver like farrow. Their first time, maybe mistakes might happen first, second, third. But once they are also willing to learn and you are also patient, and then you just give them the room to also make similar mistakes as you also make.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You make them know that, look, you are, you treat them with love and kindness. Make them know that, okay, I understand why it happened this way, this time. So as we go for it, you also have to learn, and then so you grow with them, and at the end of the day, they are the ones also, their work also impacts heavily. So I think that's grow with them, yes.
So once you have willing labor, your labor staff is ready to work.
Yes.
You need to also learn to be patient with them.
Very patient with them.
So you were ready to learn.
Yes.
So once you are going into the business, you should be ready to learn.
You should be ready to learn. And also another thing, don't be too absent from your farm. Don't be absent at all. That's one thing. If you are starting and just your willingness to come. I'm speaking to, let's say, people who are, so might stay in urban areas like Accra, and then you situate their farms outside Accra, because let's be honest, Accra, where are you going to get the land to do it? Human beings can't even get land to build houses now in Accra. So where are you going to get the land to? So more often than not, you situate it outside, let's say it's your hometown, or somewhere you've seen an advert, they sell some land outside, you can come and situate it then. But then you're winning if you are working a 9 to 5 or you have something else you are doing in Accra that keeps you occupied. More often than not, you still should be able to, if it's weekends, you still should be able to sacrifice. You understand? Come weekend sacrifice, even sometimes if it's weekday and you are assuming it's not a 9 to 5 that you have to be at work. If it's remote work or something that you are doing, and you can come always go around, and then it's this making this investment is the same. It's better than you having 200,000 cedis and you go and give it to a bank to do treasury bill. And then I think right now
people will come and fight you.
If you do it well, it's better, because you have 200,000 cedis or even 100,000 cedis and you go and invest it in T-bills. I think right now the rates will give you about almost 4,000 cedis. But here, that's every 3 months. So within the year, you earn about 16,000 because you reflect 4 times.
Yeah.
But here, if 100,000 in your first production cycle, you make way more than that. You understand?
The first production. You've brought the production cycle. How long is that production cycle?
So a production cycle, that is from the time the animals are born, the piglets are born, to when they are ready for market meat. That should take you anywhere from 6 to 8 months. Ideally,
8 months.
Ideally, you should be able to achieve target weight of 70 to 80 or 70 to 90 kilo. Per pig, yes.
That you are selling out.
That you are selling, yeah. Ideally.
Wow.
Yes. Sometimes you might fall a little bit short, you might get 60, 70. But if you realize that, look, this animal is eating, and I'm not getting there, you should cash in on the animal and then focus your effort to the ones who are coming up. So ideally, yes, a production cycle of maybe 30 pigs. You cannot pull my calculator. A production cycle of about 30 pigs. If you had 30 pigs, right? Assuming we are started with 30 pigs, 30 piglets. Now these 30, everybody got to an average weight of about 70 kilos. That means you have 2,100 kilos. That's 2.1 ton. And let's say you are selling them live weight, right? That is, you've not slaughtered or whatever. Someone just comes here, picks your animals, takes them in their car, and they go and slaughter and do whatever it is.
Okay, that's the live weight.
That's the live weight. So right now, live weight should be, honestly, live weight should be around 40 cedis, but they will strength, so you can't maybe 30. So let's
that's per kilo.
Yes, per kilo. So let's say 35 per kilo. So 2,100 per 35. So your first production cycle, you should be looking from anywhere around 73,000.
That's just from
30 full. So if you have 30 full 70 kilo, so like this one, like the sheep's around 80. So let's say you have 30 of hair.
Wow.
Yes, around 30 of hair. You should make 73,000. Let's say that's what you've made in gross. Now this 73,000. Now average of feeding one animal should be around, over here when we do our calculations, we spend from start to finish around 600 cedis. Plus medication plus labor will cost you about 700 cedis.
Over the 6 to 8 months period.
Yes,
per pig.
So 700 times the 30, this is what you are spending. So you take away from your
70
something. You are looking around 50 something thousand.
It's not bad at all.
It's not bad. I mean, and when you start to
and you can have this 30s in multiples because they are giving birth back to back. You are planning that.
Yes. So what you have to do, like we're saying, doing things right, is just like I said, just the willingness to learn. I mean, all this learning how the production cycle works, because it's a pig farm, but it's also a production center or a production unit.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Because you are producing meat here, basically. So yeah, these are some of the things that can enhance your success. That's it.
Kojo,
yes.
I'm loving this conversation so much.
Same here.
I want us to circle back to 4 key points you touched on earlier. You talked about feeding as a key aspect, breeds, medication, also housing, and then the housing. Can we delve deeper into these 4 things when someone wants to start a pig farm? Breeding, why is that essential?
Yeah, that one is the most important when you are starting out. That one is the most important one when you are starting, because if you start with bad breeds, no matter the feed you give, no matter the house you put, no matter the medicine you give, the results will be bad. So with the breeding stock, when you are going to start, you need, so basically breeding stock, when you are about to start, you need to select the first animals that will give birth to the animals that will reproduce and multiply.
Okay, the generations
out, exactly.
Sure.
So every animal from here, this more of this, except those 2 I showed you, they all started from the initial parent stock.
Okay.
So what happens is that when you are choosing your breeding stock, you have to be very, with that one, if you have no knowledge of it, you have to go with somebody that has knowledge of how to choose breeding stock.
Okay.
Yes, because you have to look at certain things. Go to a farm where they have good records. If you go there, you say, I want this boy, how old is he? It's like, oh, he's 1 year. Like, oh, he's 1 year and is this size, then that's a good boy.
Okay.
You go somewhere to his 1 year and is that size. Someone they can even lie to you sometimes, but then there's some things you can look on the animal. The height of the foot. There's this from one of the nails to the ground. The height of it, it can determine. You can see whether it's to be good breeding for that one.
Okay.
You can look at it, and there's small, tiny stuff that you can look at.
Then that one you need an expert to be able to help you pick.
Yes. But more often than not, if you want to be safe when you are picking a boar or even a sow for breeding stock, simply just look at how big, how robust the animal is. Yes. Okay. So when you are buying breeding stock, don't compromise on the quality. Don't try and save money. You don't save money there.
Go all out for that.
Go all out. If it's one boar you can afford, buy a very good boar. Very good boar.
It's going to determine the future of your farm.
It will determine. You can determine the future of your life. Actually, no, it's true, because depending on how you do it, can be life changing.
Yeah.
So don't compromise. And then with the sows as well, look at the ones that are healthy and hearty, having given birth before. So if you haven't given, if a sow hasn't given birth before, it's a gilt.
Okay. Yes.
A gilt.
Okay.
So the gilts there, obviously haven't given birth, but you look at how, you look at them, you can see that yes, okay, this one I'll take the risk, I'll take the bet on this one, and then it's very important. So when you bring them in, you breeding, you can start with anywhere from. Usually, I'll say if you want to avoid inbreeding, I'll say you should start with 2 boars.
Okay.
Then 2 boars, and maybe you can even start with 2 boars, 2 so. or if there's enough, you have some money to spend, 2 boars, 4 sow. So 2 sows per boar.
Okay.
So that you can have separate children, sets of children.
Yeah.
Then as time goes on, you tag them, you can see who is who. You avoid inbreeding from there.
Okay.
But if there's no too much money to spend on all of this, and you are just starting with the basics, 1 good boar, 2 good sow, even 1 good boar, 1 sow. Sometimes even if you want, you can buy you can buy 1 sow, and then you go to a farm where you can ask them for them to cross. But right now there's artificial insemination. You can buy the sperm and then have an expert come and then inseminate your sow. So
interesting.
If you are starting on a good budget, you want to maximize the amount. Look, and no amount of money is small to get into this business. You understand?
Because you definitely get returns on that investment.
You understand?
Okay.
Exactly.
What breeds did you start with?
So right now, we started with land race and large white, but they were not pure breeds.
Land race
and large white. But they were not pure. They are not pure breeds. Right now, you'll be hard pressed to find any pure breed anywhere. There's been so much genetic crossing here and there that they've all crossed so much. So you might have
there's a little bit of each in them.
You might have 80% large white, 20 land race in one.
Okay.
Then you have 50 here. But those are the 2 breeds that we started with. But then we later acquired a Duroc breed with a Berkshire, and then also Pie Train that has a land race in it as well. Later.
Okay, so why did you choose to start with the land race and then the large white?
Okay, so with the decision to start with large race and then land race and the large white, if you look at the region where we are in, West Africa, humid, quite warm and all of that, you see that over generations, they've been able to adapt very well to where we are.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So disease resistance. So it's also very important. So they are disease resistant, number 1. You've adapted to the climate very well. And number 3, the conversion to meat. It's also it's a very, very good, they are very efficient. Okay. So that's the main reasons why we went to this breed. Okay. So sometimes, I think now the Durocs are gaining popularity. You know the Durocs, the brown ones. Yeah, they are also gaining popularity in the market because they are not so common here. So they sell for like a bit of a higher price. Okay. It's like anything that is very common will definitely sell lower than if you are selling the breeding stock, not for meat. Okay. Because meat is meat. Whether it comes from a Duroc or whatever, it's just meat.
Yeah, non-pork.
Exactly, it's pork. But if you are selling breeding stock, you go somewhere, the Duroc is definitely more expensive than a large white or the land race. Okay. So
that's good info on the breeding. Yes. Now another key point, feeding.
Very important, yes.
Tell me more about feeding.
Okay, so before I even start, I'll ask all farmers or anyone who wants to get into it everywhere that with your feed, don't compromise with the feed. Okay, you can have the alternatives, but understand what those things are doing. Let's say, ideally, now here in Africa or West Africa, ideally we are supposed to, if you look at our cassava production, I think Nigeria is the highest producer of cassava in West Africa, or in the world, sorry. Nigeria is the highest producer of cassava in the world, sorry. And if you look at Ghana here and look at, the cassava that we also produce, I don't have the figures, but I'm sure because even here in this community, there's a very big cassava producing, this is just therefore where we are. There's almost every household they do cassava, they produce cassava. So you look at it, you realize that when the Europeans and the Americans and then the Asians, when they are, because they don't have cassava in mass where they are, so they had to rely on corn food as their main source of carbohydrates. So now the feeding, you break it down like this. It's a balanced diet. You have to give a balanced diet too. So you have carbohydrates, you have protein, you have fats and oil, you have minerals, you have vitamins. Those are the 5 main, and then water. Water is also a part of the feed. Those are the 6 main components of pig feed. Okay. So So number one, carbohydrates. You realize that Ghana over time we've adopted this practice of using maize as the main carbohydrate source.
Okay.
So more often than not, farmers will use maize and they pair it with soybean. But maize, I mean, the prices are skyrocketing on the daily and whatnot. So I think in the long term, as we are going forward, we should all look at cassava as a good alternative.
Okay.
Because it's even more carb intensive than maize.
It looks like you've been trying it. Or
Yeah,
we've
been so we've planted some cassava in the next cycle. That's what we are going to use. So your feed formulation should have good carbohydrates, good source of protein. The carbohydrates will be more, obviously, because pig rearing is a very carbohydrate intensive venture because of the sizes we are looking to get to in the period that you are looking to get the sizes to. You can't do that with protein. Just feeding protein or feeding fiber.
You won't get that size.
No, you won't get that size. You won't get that size. So carbohydrate number one. You can have maize, you can have cassava. Yes, you can have bread waste. You can have you go to chop bars, maybe the fufu and all of those other nice one. You can come and then you garnish it up nicely. You can feed them.
I heard even waste from breweries.
So waste from breweries, yes, they also have they have some carbohydrates in there. They have some protein. They have small. But more often than not, is we call it spent grain. Spent grain. But we say spent because more often than not the nutrients are
taken out.
But you might have some small ones in there. So it's also a good supplement feed. But I don't think that should be that can be your main feed if you finish, like the animal is at 80 kilos and now you don't want to spend too much on it. Then you
but shouldn't be the starters.
No, the starter for this, like this small piglets you see. When you are starting now and there, you have to make sure that you are giving them what they need. The carbohydrates, like I mentioned, the sources. Then the protein, carbohydrates also you can use something called palm kernel cake, PKC. With the protein as well, you can use soybean. That is the most common used one. It's because of the amino acid structure in soybean. It's basically it's quite complete as compared to other sources. You can use soybean, you can use fish meal, you can use blood meal, you can use granite cake, GNC. But the main ones here, I think we should focus. I mean, it can be azola like you saw outside. Azola or duckweed. That's also another key thing. I'm hoping a lot of Ghanaian farmers employ. We start using a lot of the azola and duckweed because look,
people use it a lot in catfish feeding.
Yes, catfish feeding. In catfish feeding, the azola can save you about 60% of cost. Same in pig farming. If I can decide not to buy soybean ever, and
replace it with azola.
Oh yes, full time. Full time because of the amino acid structure. You understand? So you have soybean, you have fish meal. It's also because of the leucine and isoleucine. Very high contents of leucine, isoleucine. Sometimes soybean doesn't have that high amount, so you can supplement with that one. Then you have blood meal. Blood meal is the highest source of protein.
What's that?
Oh, it's animal blood usually from cattle and goats. Then you can use that usually from cattle and goats. You can use blood meal for fish from pigs, but you can't use pig's blood for pigs themselves. So what you do with the blood meal, if you take fish feed, right, especially, and you look at the color, you can see it's a little bit brownish to red. The ones that are a bit higher in protein are a bit more red than that's the blood color that they use. When you drop it, you know, fish, when you drop it, they smell like the sharks smell the blood, they attract them. Even here, when they smell it attracts them because it's very, very, very rich. Then so that's 90% protein content, blood meal. You can use that one as well. Then you have your fats and oil, like I mentioned, the PKC, palm kernel cake. It's a byproduct of the palm fruit. So when they finish extracting the oil from it and all, what is left is very sweet scented.
So do you get those locally?
We get everything. So all what we are talking about here is things that you can get locally.
Good.
So we get that one locally, and from I think there's production facilities around here. We go to them, we get it acquired at a nice price. Then so PKC, palm kernel cake, granite cake. That is also when they are processing granules. Some of the ones that fall and all of that here. Then you have, like I said, I think as a vitamins, right? So we have mixes, pre-mixes. If you don't, you can give. If you have a place place where you can get vegetable waste, fruit waste, maybe a vendor who sells, and then every time there's, you know, when obviously when it comes, a bit what I say, there's some that have gone bad for human consumption, it's gone bad, but for the animals they can still eat. So you can go liaise with them, pick from there for your vitamins, and that will also give extra feed as well. But if not, you can go to the store, they have the powders they sell. Powder, you can add that one to the feed as your vitamin mix. Got a broiler premix, layer premix, and there's some other companies that you go there, you see vitamin mix, you buy that one. Then your minerals, that is if I mean salts, it's also important in pig feed. Then you have as well, you have things like calcium, you have how do you even call it, lysine. Then you have how do you even call the other one? I've forgotten there's different I think there's like 4 different things that you have to add for powder form to your feed to make it whole. Then you can add enzymes. When you add enzymes, the role of the enzyme is that it helps them to break the feed down well. Then the toxin binder, it will keep, you know, because they eat on the ground, so it will keep whatever harmful substances are in the food from affecting them in the stomach, in the gut. So with the feeding, I think what I'll have to do is I'll write a formula. Maybe you can insert it, maybe whether it's in the caption or so that they can wherever they can look at it.
Description you've given me, your pigs are eating well.
Oh, they are eating well. Now you can't compromise on the feed.
Quite a combination.
Yeah, if you compromise on the feed, you.
So no wonder they are growing this big and they are looking this healthy. Wow. So we've touched on feed. We've touched on breed. Now the next is medication.
Yes, medication.
Medication.
Yes.
So tell me.
With medication, with that one, it's an issue of usually you can set it up routinely, except if the animal is sick and they need some type of medication as and then. But usually when the piglets are born, within their first 3 days, on the 3rd day, we inject with iron. That helps just to give them it fights against anemia. So we give them iron injection. What you can also do if you don't want to give iron is when the mother is pregnant, you can feed them with turkey berry,
we have stuff so.
Even with human beings, I think it's very when you go to the hospitals, maternal, when you are pregnant and you are about to, they encourage you to eat a lot of turkey berries because it will make the child stronger.
So in what form do you give to them?
So here we can add it, we can grind it and then add it to the feed. Or we can give it raw. Usually when you give it raw and they see like they like to go eat around it because it's not part of the feed. They see. So when you grind it and then you mix it and they eat.
They don't have option, they'll eat.
So 3 days iron injection. Then every month you deworm. Every month you deworm. Every month you try and deworm your course. It's very important. You don't because they eat from the ground. They eat a lot of.
You don't know what's going in there.
So as much as possible you deworm. Then depending on the animal and looking at whether the growth of the animal, you can also give multivitamin injection depending on if the animal needs it. Then we have pen strip. That is a bit more when usually there's things like some other type of very quite serious diseases or ailments. They have medicine for that, like the pen strip and whatnot. So that you can also use for there. So a medication, and then we have the spray, the topical spray when they scratch their skin or they fight and then they hurt you spray. So that's the main form of medication. There's even some ones that are water soluble. So this poly tank that we have here, if I want to deworm all of them at once, all I can do is maybe with the poly tank I set it to maybe half. We drain the poly tank to maybe about half. Then we pour the medicine inside there. Then we just instruct that as much as possible for the next 2 days or so, no one should fetch anything from here into a bucket to use around. Let the go and fetch from the house. Let the animals drink all of this medicine so that you don't have to inject. You understand? Yeah. You can also feed one important, like I said, West Africa here. This is supposed to be like heaven, because here you look at the herbs that we have.
Yeah.
Look, bitter leaf. We have a bitter leaf. This one here.
Yeah.
The leaves, you take the leaves and then you dry it and then you give it to the animals. This medicine. Sometimes you don't have to even medicate. Good medicine for them. This the leaves that you saw them chopping outside, the epo leaves, the leucemia leaves. Good medicine for the pigs as well. So when they are eating all these things, it helps them to be healthier. We rarely find any serious sickness over here. Then aside that as well, like we were talking about biosecurity earlier, once every week we spray all the pens. So we have the Patholite, or you have what's the name of the, I've forgotten, but this brand we have here is Patholite. So it's a disinfectant. So and the animals can actually even drink it. Nothing will happen to them.
Okay.
So we use that. We spray the whole pens, and then we have a foot bath, a foot dip.
Yeah.
Before you enter, you dip your feet nicely, wash your hands nicely, you enter. So all these, they help mitigate the risks that come with disease.
Okay, but what kind of diseases are they prone to?
So, like I said, the deworming with the worms forming in their stomach, that is number one. That is where a lot of problems will start from. Well, obviously, if the pigs are anemic from when they come from the mother, and then if not, they don't have enough iron, you start to see that they get very weak. From there, you have problems. But then the one I've seen here that they are most susceptible to is the worms forming in their stomach. So you see that they start to have skin lesions. Like, I mean, there's dots around their skin, like they are, because the worms that are starting to manifest all the way into their skin.
Okay.
So that is the one I see the most. Then sometimes they fight, and then you realize that someone is cut here, someone is cut there.
They fight, the pigs.
Yeah, they can even fight to the point of death.
They can be that aggressive?
Oh, they can fight to the point of death.
Wow.
Point of one killing one.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
But what usually would lead to that kind of aggression, or is their behavior or something?
Sometimes territorial something. You can introduce, if you introduce a new pig to where someone already is, it's like, this is my place. What are you doing here? And then they ensue. If the other one too is one that is not on you or you also realize that they loggerheads. And from there you have something that is deadly.
Interesting. Okay, so we've done breeding, feeding, medication.
I think housing.
So the last thing is the housing, the key one. I think we've talked about it a lot, but touch on it again for me. Okay,
so the housing, right? So like I said, I think we spoke about this earlier, but I think so the housing, it depends. So when you are starting, look at your budget, right? What can you afford to do as of there and then? Is it a wooden structure? Can you do a concrete one? Can you do one that's maybe container something? But then with whatever material you choose to build with, you have to understand that all the pigs, depending on what their role in the farm is, they don't need the same room. You understand? So like I said earlier, the mothers who have children, they don't need this one, like the pens. I'm sure they will show the pens that we have here. They don't need all this space. I can divide here into 3, and then I'll have, instead of 1 here, I'll have 3 here. Now I'm using my space better. Then now these small children, they need, when they are coming up, the piglets, they need space to be able to eat. You saw what happened when we were feeding them. They're getting on top of. So they need bigger space so that everyone can spread out, eat well. When they finish eating, big space so that they can sleep. So they will need more space, and as they grow, they get bigger. So more and more space. Then the boar will need maybe half of this, or even a third cry, so that they can also be comfortable there. So when you are doing your housing, you have to take all this into consideration, and also how their water system will be. Here we use the nipple system, so the pipes are in the wall, and then the nipples feed them the water. If not, there's different ways you can feed them, give them water. You understand? There's a plethora of ways. So you have to look at all of these things. I mean, where you even situate the house, the angle from the sunlight. You understand? All all of these small things.
They don't like heat?
Because of their nature, they don't like heat. They understand, but they are pretty much big animals. So the notion is that a lot of people think that pigs are dirty and all of that. But usually when you see a pig wallowing in water, wallowing in mud, it's because he's trying to cool himself. If you go to a place where it's a bit cold, I mean, you won't see much of that. You understand what I'm saying? But if it's a warm place and then the weather is warm and then the pig feels some heat, you realize that if he sees any small water, he wants to enter and just cool himself or herself. So that's what it is. Yeah.
It makes sense. So we've gone full circle. I think we've touched on most of the things that one needs to know before they go into pig farming. One last question. What would you advise? Go in big or start small for a beginner?
Our advice for a beginner, if you are starting, please, if you are okay, so it's not really such a black and white scenario.
Okay.
So if you're a beginner and then you don't have knowledge on the industry, but let's say you have some money to invest, maybe you can partner up with somebody who has knowledge or a good consultant, and then make sure that they have eyes on the project for you. That one you might start maybe in the middle, not too big, not too small, but just in the middle.
Okay.
So that at least you can start returning a bit big, your money a little bit big. So, but if you are a beginner and you have no knowledge, and then you look and then you realize maybe going in for a consultant and all of that might affect your finances too much, then you should start small and then learn the business. That's what I even advise everybody. You start with 2 pigs, learn their tendencies, learn how they feed, learn what you feed that makes it make them big, so and so. Learn it from there, and from there you can. So definitely don't start. It's relative. Don't start something that is too much, it's too bigger than you. But start with a number that you can learn from.
Bite what you can chew.
Bite what you can chew. Basically, that's it.
That's very good advice. Yeah. It's been enlightening. Thank you so much. Yeah. Someone may want to reach out. Maybe would want to come see your place. Maybe would want some consultation. Is that?
No, sure.
All right. Okay. So you want to leave your contact, right? You find it on the screen, and then anyone can reach out to you anytime, and then to find out more. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And it's a wrap.